And then when you compare yourselves to others, you aren't carrying that shame. You aren't carrying that guilt. You aren't carrying those beliefs that say, I'm not good enough. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? My name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything positive mindset, personal development, and just creating a version of yourself and a life you really love. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the secret of how to stop comparing yourself to others. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Feel free to share this video with anyone you feel may want to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified every time I post a new video. And without further ado, let's get into it. So when you compare yourself to others, you don't feel good about yourself, right? You probably look down on yourself and you probably think that you're not good enough or X, Y, and Z, right? But I want to let you guys in on a little secret because the act of comparing yourself really isn't a negative act. It's not that we shouldn't compare ourselves to others, but what makes us feel so bad about comparing ourselves to others is that we feel negatively about ourselves. And we only feel negative when we compare ourselves to others when we feel negative about ourselves. You know, it can actually be really beneficial and add a lot of value to our lives if we can compare ourselves to others in a non-demeaning way. But most of the time, with like 99.99% of us, we feel negatively when we compare ourselves to others because it's triggering something that's already within us, such as a lack of self-worth or a lack of confidence or some insecurities about something or some shame that you think that something's wrong with you or you think you should be better or whatever it is. The reason you feel negatively about comparing yourself is because something negative already exists inside you. So to stop feeling negatively when you compare yourself to others is to really rid yourself from those not so great feeling things that already exist inside of you and really just rip it out at the root. And also when you rip that out at the root, you will see ripple effects in every other aspect of your life. So the secret to stop comparing yourself to others is to really do inner healing work to get rid of that, whatever it is that sense of comparison is triggering, and just to create a level of self-love and inner trust so high that can't be knocked down. When you have that level of self-love and self-trust and confidence in yourself and just a higher level of emotional intelligence, and I'm not saying that in any kind of negative way, but when you have that and you see someone that is doing quote unquote better than you, you can see, okay, like, wow, that person is doing X, Y, and Z. I wonder if I can do X, Y, and Z. And you get more excited about it. You get more, you compare yourself in like a positive way that's beneficial to you, that's going to offer value to you. You know, you don't compare yourself and say, oh, like that person's doing so great. What am I doing with my life? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not good enough. That's when these thoughts start to come up. When those thoughts start to come up, start to question them. Don't believe them. Thoughts are literally just thoughts, and they're stemmed from beliefs, and beliefs that we hold about ourselves are not necessarily true. We feel like they're true. We feel like we're living that truth, but they're not necessarily true. And so we've got to question every belief we have. And especially if it doesn't make us feel good, it doesn't belong to us. I'm going to throw like the scale of frequencies over here, but you can see like at the bottom is all like the hate, the guilt, the shame, the fear, the anger. These are like low level emotions, right? These are emotions that aren't going to make you feel good. And at the top, there's going to be emotions of like love and peace and whatever and whatnot, like the feelings that make us feel really good. We naturally, human beings, our souls, naturally sit at that very, very high level of like love and enlightenment and peace and all that, right? We only hold on to these negative ones when we were taught something when we were younger. Maybe we went through an experience and through our human brains, with our human minds, we interpret something to think something negative about us, and that belief turns into shame, such as like when say that you're like 4 years old and you're crying about something and somebody tells you to stop being a crybaby. Maybe then from then on, you're like ashamed to cry. There it is. There's shame in your energy level, in your energetic field. And so you start to feel shameful about things, and these things will hold you down. And when we can lift those things off of us, when we can do inner healing work and just like take those out from the root, we naturally rise higher, we naturally feel better. And then when you compare yourselves to others, you aren't carrying that shame, you aren't carrying that guilt, you aren't carrying those beliefs that say, I'm not good enough. And so when you see someone doing quote unquote better than you, you have the thoughts of, wow, that person's doing that, I wonder if I can do that. Wow, that person is doing really well, that's really good for them, I'm really happy for them. And you're not insecure in yourself, you don't feel negatively about yourself. And so when you compare yourself, you don't get triggered like that. So we've really got to start questioning our beliefs and questioning our thoughts and not believing these things that come up in our minds, even though they feel so strongly. So just a couple tips. If you guys are dealing with any kind of emotions that are making you feel like really negatively about yourself, when you feel those negative emotions come up, one, like just become aware of how it feels inside your body. So say that you like you're comparing yourself to someone and you have a thought of like, oh, they're doing so well, like what am I doing with my life, whatever. When you have that thought, become aware and just stop yourself and like bring awareness to your body and think, okay, where do I feel tightness? Like, does my chest feel tight? Does my throat feel tight? Do I feel like there's a lump in my throat? Do I feel like I'm tense? Like, where is there tightness? Where is there constriction? And you want to like breathe through it and like shake it out sometimes. And when you do like physically shake like your hands or something, it does help to release that emotion, which is like energy in motion. It does help to release that. If you do want to do that, I know you can look a little crazy if you do, but really just like breathe through those emotions and work on like releasing the tension if you're all tensed up, like opening, like work on like breathing, like taking deep breaths and like opening your chest, releasing that tension, you know, really breathing through your throat, and just imagine like this tension and all of that just leaving you. When you do that, when you bring your awareness to your body and you release that tension inside your body, it immediately also releases that tension in your mind, and it's a lot easier to let go of that emotion. You are releasing that negative emotion when you do that. And so that's one way to just like immediately get out of that feeling. And then from there, you want to work on reprogramming your mind to instill these new beliefs in you, instill these positive beliefs in you. Okay, so you're getting triggered, you feel negatively. It's stemming from a negative belief that you're holding on to. And beliefs are stored in our subconscious mind. So we have our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is what stems all of these feelings and emotions, and it's how we view ourselves, and it carries like how we feel about ourselves. And so this belief is like stemmed in our subconscious mind, and it's going to feel very permanent. So what we want to do is reprogram the mind to instill a positive belief, to instill a belief that is going to make us feel good about ourselves, that is going to help us step back into our power and to not feel bad about ourselves, to not feel negatively about ourselves, all that, right? And then with enough repetition of doing that, you will eventually hold on to this new belief that is shed from that old emotion, and you're holding on to this new belief that makes you feel really good about yourself. And then you can compare yourself to others with like a constructive criticism where you aren't offended, you aren't taken back by anything. I mean, like maybe once in a while you may get triggered, sure, but then you can look within and switch another belief, and it's just like a work in progress, right? But to reprogram their mind, you know, it takes a lot of repetition, but there are definitely like a bunch of different tools to reprogram the mind. To really like reprogramming the mind is really just like setting in stone a new positive belief about yourself, and then from there you just feel better about yourself. You take different actions because you feel differently about yourself. You know, you see through a more positive lens, you see through a higher perspective, and again, you just feel really good about yourself. So that's why we really want to reprogram these new beliefs in. So okay, one, ask yourself, you know, what belief may this trigger be stemmed by? Like, do I feel shameful about anything? Do I feel guilty about anything? Was there something that happened when I was a kid that I may still be holding on to? You know, list these things out and then ask yourself, what do you want to believe about yourself? What would make you feel really good to believe about yourself? And what's like the opposite of these like negative beliefs that you're holding on to right now that have like previously been like ingrained in your mind without you even realizing it because we were kids, right? And so from there, you can, on these new positive beliefs, you can create affirmations, you can YouTube like different subliminal messaging audios to listen to overnight. That's what I have done for years, and they have really helped me. You can invest in hypnoses. To be honest, I haven't found a lot of good free hypnoses. I've paid for, I think, like all of mine that I have, but hypnoses I think are like my favorite way to reprogram their mind, because just real quick, it like lifts the veil of your conscious mind to reprogram the mind. I'm not going to get into the science behind it, but it is a very powerful way to program in these new beliefs, and it like directly impacts your mind. So I really like that one. You can listen to meditations, which are also, you know, very powerful in getting deep in your mind like that. And then just work on like looking at your daily life and thinking like, okay, am I operating from this belief today or from my positive belief today? And just be very intentional and set intentions to operate from this belief today. And like with each action, just like constantly remind yourself, okay, this is my belief, this is how I'm going to act, this is how I'm going to react, this is how I'm going to live my life, you know? And really like intentionally taking on that mindset. You're gonna have to use a little bit of self-will here, but eventually when you do this over and over again, and that repetition creates that belief, and that belief then becomes ingrained into the mind, and then you start unconsciously, without even realizing it, operating from this new positive belief. And you're going to feel really good, you're going to feel really confident, you're going to feel really on top of it, and you're going to live by those results, and you're going to live a much more fulfilling and happy life without holding on to that other stuff. So I really hope that helped, guys. If it did, please let me know in the comments what especially you liked about this video. Again, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and send this to someone if you want to. Feel free to follow me on Instagram for more tips and inspiration, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.